Welcome to Second Edition. I'm Terna Andrusiak.
And I'm Maria Mena. Coming up on today's show, how the warmer weather is not cool for a local business.
Plus, Santa's Anonymous is hoping donations start to increase.
And a goalie on NAIT women's team is making her mark in college hockey.
But first, some new and innovative technology right here at NAIT. NAIT's Machinist program is showing off its new recycling system. The Machinist program received a new coolant recycling system. It has a huge environmental impact as it recycles thousands of liters of contaminated water and oil instead of disposing of it yearly.
Truck come in and suck out the coolant from all the machines. We have over 130 machines at this point, and it would haul it all away as wastewater. And so this is keeping us from having thousands of liters of wastewater hauled away every year.
The system is also safer for staff and students as it limits contact with coolants as well. It improves air quality in the classroom by removing harmful bacteria that can become airborne when coolant is sprayed.
NAIT is working on building a more diverse and inclusive workforce in the trades. Nearly 150 people got a hands-on experience at NAIT on Saturday. They were taking part in a free event called Next in Trades. 15 different skilled trades were on display. Next in Trade is an initiative to help make skilled trades training and education more accessible, ultimately helping underrepresented communities in the trades.
So we're targeting a whole bunch of different communities, newcomers to Canada, Indigenous communities, our 2S LGBTQIA+ community. We want everybody to feel welcome within the spaces here at NAIT and understand that there really is a space for them to be successful in a trades and technology profession should they choose to go that path.
Next in Trades will be back next year, February and April. NAIT is also hosting another event tomorrow called Jill of All Trades, focusing on educating high school girls about the careers in trades.
Snow Valley is feeling the absence of winter due to El Nino. Snow Valley's doors are not yet open to the public because of the lack of snow and warm temperature. They say they need the temperature to be -5 or cooler to make snow and to get the hill open. Snow Valley is doing repairs and upgrading its facilities while waiting for winter to come.
If there's no cold weather and cooperating winds, we can't make snow. So we've only had an opportunity for like 5 days in October to make snow, and it's about half as much as we need to open. So we're halfway there, but we got a long way to go before we can open.
Snow Valley was hoping to open the ski hill next weekend, but all they can do right now is to watch the weather forecast.
Santa's Anonymous is hoping you will visit Jerry Forbes Donation Center to make a toy donation. Santa's Anonymous launches toy drive on Monday. Donations have been slow due to the weather. They say the most needed toys are for babies and children between the ages of 9 to 12 years old. The charity is looking for a total of 88,000 donations, and they are a quarter of the way there.
It definitely feels a little slower than usual. Of course, it hasn't snowed yet, so usually people really don't start thinking about Christmas until it starts to snow. So this is really late in the year for us, so we're just kind of seeing a slow number so far, but hoping it picks up.
You can find Santa's Anonymous donation boxes in malls and major retail stores. They will be accepting donations until December 4th.
The ACAC has welcomed back a new sport this past weekend.
But first, one of the Ooks women's hockey goalies and fifth-year veteran has just worked her way into the record books. Our Kylie Saleh has more on the story.
Thanks, ladies. The NAIT women's hockey team have gotten themselves off to an impressive start to the season. The entire team is to thank, but extra thanks should be given to goaltending, and Friday night was no exception as one of the Ooks goalies skated her way into the history books. Manitoba native Caitlin Slater was the Ooks starting goaltender against the Olds College Broncos. With 45 wins in her ACAC career, she was looking to tie the record for most wins in ACAC history at 46. The Ooks scored 4 goals, and Slater stopped all 13 she faced to take the win 4-0.
I think it pays tribute to all the teams I've been on and how successful we've been, because without them I could have done the record, but yeah, it's really exciting. We have a lot of skill this year, and it's really exciting to see, and hopefully we can utilize that skill and come out with a championship at the end of the day.
This is Slater's 5th season as an ACAC goaltender. Slater's past 2 years have resulted in 2 championship final losses, but she believes that this year the team has got what it takes to win it all. The Ooks play their last game of the calendar year on November 25th at Lakeland College before continuing their season in January. The ACAC saw the start of a new season on Sunday. This weekend, the ACAC welcomed back badminton season with Tournament 1 kicking off at Concordia. King's University, Concordia, NAIT, and SAIT were all in attendance to try to start their season off with some wins. NAIT brought back 5 veteran returning players this season and welcomed 4 fresh faces to the team.
We're really excited. We have a really good team this year. Like, we all get along really well, and like, we're just really good kids and they're really good players. Really deep team, and yeah, we're looking to hopefully play for the this year.
Many of the players had successful seasons last year, including Noelle Doe and Sylvie Bibbo, who placed second in ACAC women's doubles and remain on the team this year. Davis Wong is coming off of a mixed doubles gold medal, but will have a new partner this year in Samantha Tran. The team as a whole finished in 3rd place last year, receiving ACAC bronze medals, but are looking to upgrade to gold this season. I love seeing women in sports succeed, so watching Slater hit that milestone was really exciting.
It is. I'm also excited to see how the badminton season this year plays out.
Especially after the success they had last season, it should be a good one. After the break, a look at how property vacancies are affecting downtown Edmonton.
And we get to see the world of documentaries through the lens of an Edmonton filmmaker. We'll be back right after the short break.
With COVID-19 fading into memory, downtown commercial vacancies have been increasing steadily. With Edmonton now in the top 3 in the country, it has left many wondering, when is it going to stop and will it ever recover?
Our Nick Dubé sat down with property manager Tasif Rahman to discuss the past, present, and future of Edmonton's downtown core.
Hi, I'm Nick Dubé, and today I'm in downtown Edmonton, and I'm here to meet with a property manager who's going to give us the scoop on the future of properties downtown in Edmonton and where it's come pre-COVID to post-COVID and the changes that are currently developing. So come along with me and let's see what's up.
I'm here with Tasif Rahman, a local property manager.
How did COVID affect the property management sector in general?
So, in a nutshell, property management is on-the-ground business, and during COVID, now people are working from home, no one is coming to office, so it definitely did impact significantly. Due to dwindling population within the building as well, plus all the other associated problems started creeping up during COVID time. Of course, supply chain shortages and human resource shortages as well. They impacted us quite significantly.
With downtown Edmonton at a 24% vacancy rate, currently the 3rd highest in Canada, there's been talks to possibly change office space into residential.
How does that affect you guys?
Definitely very attractive approach. However, it becomes a different challenge altogether. Residential buildings are designed a little bit differently than the commercial buildings, and the assets which are being converted from older commercial office buildings to the residential apartment buildings. There are 2 projects I know in Edmonton, they were halted. I don't know what is the ultimate goal with them, but in Calgary, they are in full swing. They are converting commercial properties into residential. As attractive as the idea is, the practical implementation can cause definitely some challenges. We need to figure out first how to control the incoming supply, and then is it still worth to convert an older office building into a residential building, because the cost factor definitely kicks into the equation, and sometimes economy of scale is not very
I'd like to thank you, Tasif, for joining me today. Thank you very much. This is Nick Dubé with 2nd edition.
The Nisso Katan Center is here for Indigenous students and for anyone who is looking to learn more about the Indigenous culture at NAIT.
Our Kayla Patterson sat down with manager Derek Thunder to ask questions about the Nisso Katan Center.
Hey, it's Kayla Patterson with Second Edition. Today I'm here at the Nisso Katan Center, joined by manager Derek Thunder. Derek, how are you?
Hello, I'm good.
That's
I'm doing
good.
well.
That's good. All right, so what is the Nisso Katan Center for those who are curious?
The Nisso Katan Center is actually an environment that we created, a home away from home for all Indigenous students, or Aboriginal students, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. And we strive to empower Aboriginal students to feel confident who they are. And then when you feel confident, all the other pieces fall into place with regards to student supports. You know, people do come here initially at first as Aboriginal students, and then they venture out once they start feeling comfortable with regards to being at NAIT.
When it comes to elder and cultural advising, what can NAIT students do for resourcing?
You don't have to book a time. You can if you want to, but for the most part, because it's an open door policy, students can come in whenever they can with regards to, and their availability and their time and those days that they're available to come in and just chat with them with regards to anything they want to know. What we ask students to do is do the research with regards to when you're talking to an elder, when you're specifically asking for guidance with regards to spirituality, bring some tobacco. We have some tobacco here at the front desk that we give to students that if they're going to talk to the elder with regards to significance, with regards to culture, by all means offer them that tobacco. That tobacco is protocol that will speak with regards to the elders when they're doing the prayer afterwards.
How can NAIT students learn more about the Nisso Katan Center?
I encourage people to want to learn about the Nisso Katan Center and Aboriginal culture in general, just to come and visit. As Aboriginal communities, we went and visited communities. We visited our relationship. The way we build relationships in that sense of community is through visiting and through coming to meet people in general in person, right? Things have evolved so much that we are so into our telephones, our computers, and are doing these things. But if you want to learn about other people and other culture and other ways of knowing and doing, by all means come to the center and just ask us.
I'm Kayla Patterson with Second Edition.
There are filmmakers from all corners of the world, and Canada is home to some exceptional talent.
Our Harold Abuan spoke with an Edmonton-based filmmaker so he could see into the world of documentaries from an insider's point of view.
I'm Harold from Second Edition. I'm here to interview Adam Scorgi, but he's not here, so I'm gonna summon him. Thanks, Adam.
No problem.
Could you introduce yourself for the audience?
So my name is Adam Scorgi. I'm an Edmonton-based film producer that specializes in documentaries and a self-proclaimed creative hustler.
So how is it making documentaries, do you think, compared to movies?
With docs, everybody is much more passionate and committed to the story. Meaning, like, you know, right now we're fortunate enough to be able to tell Dolph Lundgren's story. He's a busy guy, working actor all the time, but the amount of time and effort he's putting into his story is more than almost any movie and stuff, because it's his story. It's very personal to him. And that's kind of, I think, what me and my team have fallen in love with, is that even though we get to work with these champions, athletes, or actors that have really cool stories, their commitment to the documentary is always more because it's more personal.
At what point do you see a topic or a person and think, I should pitch this as a documentary?
You know, we see the right story with a person or a story and want to pitch it as a documentary. I use that acronym RASP, right? Relevance, access, story, and passion. What's the relevance of the story, meaning who cares? What kind of access will we have through our team? Do we know somebody personally that would get us in there close? What is the story about this person or individual that we're trying to tell? And then P for passion.
Are there any topics or people that you feel don't get as much attention as they need?
There's nothing that comes right off the top of my head that I think needs covered. And I think that's partly because, like, social media is covering things so quick now, right? I can't think of anybody in particular, but that is something when you're going into telling a story, go online and look, see if people have already done a doc on the individual or something, right? Because we've been pitched before, we're like, oh man, it'd be amazing to do a story on that person. They got a great story, I'd love to do their doc. Then you Google and you're like, they just released a doc last year.
Do you have any closing remarks to give?
If you're gonna go down the journey of becoming a documentary filmmaker or filmmaker in general, learn it, do it, and you'll have an exciting life. There will be challenges like anything else, and it'll get stressful and daunting at times, but overall, I wouldn't want to do it any other way.
Thank you so much, Adam, for taking the time out of your day for this interview. It's been really nice.
No problem, my pleasure.
I'm Harold with Second Edition, signing off.
Drag shows have been getting more popular in recent years, and Canada is no exception.
Our Selena Martinez-Barba spoke with an Edmonton-based drag performer to see what drag is all about.
Hi, I'm Selena, and today we're here in Manchester Square at the Arcadia Brewing Company, where the monthly Beers and Queers drag show is happening. And today I'm going to be interviewing one of the hosts, Selena Katan. Come with me as I do the interview. And I'm joined here by Selena Katan. Yeah, I'm good. And let's get started with the first question. How has drag impacted your life personally and professionally?
I work an awful lot with the Imperial Sovereign Court of the Wild Rose, which is a charity organization that helps to raise money for queer, not just queer, like, I want to say initiatives, but also like queer programming. And so we raised last year over $120,000 and gave back to our community. And so that's something that's always been super important to me.
How do you advocate for inclusivity and diversity in your drag performances?
I always try to perform things that mean a lot to me, whether it be like Latinx artists, Jewish artists, songs that mean something to me, songs that are, even if it's silly, it still represents something of who I am. It's a way for me to really connect with people without having to be, like, with being vulnerable, but vulnerable in a productive and very, like, performative sense.
How have you noticed the response in recent years to venues with these types of events?
Well, I mean, Arcadia has always been a great advocate. I started doing a show with Arcadia when they used to be on 124th Street, so before COVID. We used to have a trivia night, and Darren, the owner of Arcadia, and actually the whole community here at Arcadia has been really welcoming. We've had some negative backlash that occasionally happens, but the support that has come out of that has been so amazing. And I find that, like, within the venues that we get to work with, there's a lot of really great venues in Edmonton that support us. But it's one thing to support, and it's another thing to really push and advocate for us.
Thank you so much for coming. Thanks for having me. Yeah, we're done. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Shows like these have seen much more popularity, especially because of venues like Arcadia accepting those kind of shows. These shows advocate for much more inclusivity and diversity in Edmonton. This has been Selena from Second Edition. Thanks for watching.
Coming up after the break, we will take you back in time to review a movie.
Sounds interesting. Then we'll show you how to spice up your kitchen with some jerk wings.
Welcome back to Second Edition. Coming up, we're going to show you a simple way to make a birdhouse.
Plus, we'll show you how to make tasty jerk wings that will make your mouth tingle. Taryn, can you handle spice?
No, Maria. Unfortunately, I think jalapenos are spicy. How about you?
I can handle it. I love tasting a bit of kick on my food. But first, our Candace Lasky will entertain us with an old-fashioned movie review.
Hi, I'm Candace Lasky, and I'm going to try and keep this brief because last time I did a movie review, I ended up saying Victor the Vampire 41 times in as many minutes. First off, this is all wrong. Give me a sec. There we go. Now, The Man Who Came to Dinner. It's a movie from 1942 starring the ever-awe-inspiring Bette Davis. And honestly, need I even say more? Probably actually, since apparently a lot of people don't know who that is anymore, including this week's anchors, so feel free to shame them when they come back on screen. Either that or compliment them for the wonderful journalism they've done this week and the great show they've put on. You know what, maybe do that one instead, come to think of it. To give a brief plot synopsis, about a month before Christmas, famed radio personality Sheridan Whiteside goes to visit an Ohio official for dinner. Unfortunately, he absolutely eats it on some ice outside and is forced to stay with his hosts over the holidays. And he is, let's just say, less than agreeable.
Thank you. I am suing you for $150,000.
Monty Woolley as Sheridan Whiteside is just incredible. He originated the character on Broadway and has this sort of manic, over-the-top energy that just fits him so well.
My great-aunt Jennifer ate a whole box of candy every day of her life. She lived to be 102, and when she'd been dead 3 days, she looked better than you do now.
My only complaint is the lack of dinner. It promises dinner in the title and then it never delivers. So I feel a little bit betrayed. I'd also say the fall looks a little bit unconvincing, but I guess I really shouldn't be one to judge other people on their fake-looking falls. The cinematography is great as well. Most of the movie takes place in just one room, yet they vary the shots enough to make it feel a lot more open and natural. So all in all, a great time if you're looking for something a bit different. It's even surprisingly raunchy at times, considering it was made in Hays Code era Hollywood. Shoot, sorry. I think I'm running out of time here. I meant to keep better track of it, but unfortunately.
I lost my watch!
This has been Candace Slosky with Second Edition.
Hey everybody, Calvin Martin here. Listen, I have a recipe for you that will blow your socks off. If you're looking for an appetizer for the holiday season, look no further. Caribbean jerk wings that are sure to take your taste buds on a trip to the Isle of Jamaica in no time. Come on, I'm gonna show you how to make them. Here's your ingredient list. This is for a ½ kilogram of wings. Your first step, really simple. Add all the listed seasonings and ingredients to your ½ kilogram of wings. Double it if you're adding more wings. Be liberal with your seasonings, excluding your salt. While your wings are marinating, you have time to make the perfect sauce to go with them. It's a beautiful sweet and spicy garlic jerk sauce. Only need one saucepan, a knife, cutting board, and a little bit of time to make it. I'm going to show you how. First step, roughly chop about 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. Add those to your saucepan with a little bit of butter. Once those are nice and fragrant, add your tablespoon of jerk sauce and saute until fragrant, about 1-2 minutes. Add your 1/4 cup of chicken broth, 1/4 cup of ketchup, and 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. Finally, add seasonings of your choice. I'm using a little garlic powder, black pepper, and mixed herb seasoning. Mix, cover, let it boil. Preheat your oven to 400 degrees, line your wings on a baking sheet, put them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, checking constantly. Once they're about done, put your wings in a bowl, add your sauce, toss, and put them back on the baking tray and back in the oven at 400 for about 10 to 15 minutes to finish up. There you have them, Caribbean jerk wings. These are a cannot miss. Sweet, spicy, tangy, all the best flavors wrapped up in one. Calvin Mard, Second Edition.
Hello and welcome to Graham's Workshop. I'm Graham Fellows for Second Edition, and today I'll be teaching you how to make a birdhouse out of a log, a piece of wood, and a couple tools. So join me and let's get to it. All right, so now that we have our first hole drilled, I went 8 inches deep, and with this it should be enough, but if it's not, we can just drill further on. So for now, what we're gonna do is up the size. For this next part, I recommend wearing some safety glasses. So now that we have our hole drilled all the way, reamed out thoroughly, what we need to do next is make our cuts on the top for the roof. So for this birdhouse, we want it to have a sloped roof. And to do that, we need to set the chop saw to 25 degrees. So now that we have a tapered top to our birdhouse, we're gonna build a tapered roof. And in order to do that, we're gonna need a circular saw. So we want both sides to have the same degree. So let's do it again. So now that we have the wood tapered on both ends, we're gonna measure it in half. You got your center line, so let's chop it. So now that the wood is cut, we're gonna take them together and put them on there. So what we need for that is the drill again, because what we're gonna do is pre-drill our holes so that when we drill in with the screws, we don't separate the wood. So with our holes now drilled, let's fasten it down. Now that we have the roof fastened and we're almost there, we're gonna drill the hole out for the entrance. And there you have it. That's how you build a birdhouse using a log, a little bit of wood, and a little bit of time. Now those birds will have a nice cozy place come winter. For Second Edition, I'm Graham Fellows.
That's all we have for Second Edition today.
We'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.